everybody, Crafting Journey here. That Journey Chick on Instagram, making sure my microphone is on. How is everybody today? I hope you're having a wonderful day. I don't know what time of day you're watching this, but I hope it's going well for you. Did somebody do something to make you happy today? Today is do something, make someone happy day. Make someone happy today. Yes. Yeah. And we'll talk about lots of ways to do that. Oh, okay. Let's start out with the spiel at the top of the show. Don't forget to hit the like button today on your way in or out. He's been cross-stitching. Yeah, we're going to catch you up on the cross-stitch. And don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy the content and consider becoming a member. Your monetary donations go to help support the content of the channel. And the notification bell. We cannot neglect the notification bell or you might miss one of my drive lives. Today's Thursday. That's when I usually do it. And if you're watching this late, you may have missed it. So go back and look for it. And, oh my God, it's Thursday. Yay, the week is almost over. Well, I took Monday and Tuesday off, so it's been a very easy week. Yeah, so let's get the planner out. I got my little Craftably, this is another diamond painting company. They make these cups. Well, they don't make them, but you know, they have these company logo cups, Craftably, with little diamonds all over. Craftably diamond painting. Now, I have purchased from them once or twice. The Alice Van Gogh that I did last year was Craftably. It was one of their first diamond paintings, so it had some gapping issues. I have not tried it since. I need to, right? I should. But I still haven't edited the unboxing I did from last weekend. I have been so busy with this Ticket to Ride thing. I'm putting together these wheels where each sponsor gets a wheel, and on the wheel are the names of the people who had tickets that wanted to put those tickets towards that prize. And it's very cumbersome, and you know, my co-host has offered to help, but I wouldn't even know how to send her the wheel because I've made up one wheel for each sponsor, and it's all in one file, and I don't know how to send the individual file. It's just whatever. Anyway, that's what I've been doing. Yeah, starting last night, but I figured out a way to make it a tad easier. So I'm learning some shortcuts. Anyway, last night I was on the Crafty Heifer YouTube channel. Once a month we go on her channel and we talk about our Tempalong. Well, every other month. Yeah, we switch off. So this month, March, will be at the end of the month. Last Wednesday of the month will be on my channel. And we talk about our cross-stitch temperature along, so to speak. So I'm doing a bookshelf. So I am in mid-January. I'm up to like the 16th. Sorry about the microphone. I'm up to like the 16th. And then I do need to put in like a little knick-knack to go on top of one of the books there. So, and February is a short month. So I have 10 more days, 10 more little books to put there. Then I've got to start doing the outline of the third shelf. Yeah, we're already getting into the third month. Holy moly. Now up here, you can barely see it because it's in yellow. It says 2022. Yeah. And my little cover minder, it says stitching is a lifestyle. Now, I guess if it's on cross stitch, it's not a cover minder. It's a needle holder. So my needle's right there. But I am enjoying this Tempalong. I'm not going to say I didn't enjoy last year. I enjoyed last year's as well. Last year we did crochet, but this year we're doing cross stitch. But the cross stitch seems to go a little quicker. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, let me put the coffee down. Let's get out the planner. Do I have a pen? Do I hear a pen? Going once. Going twice. We have a pen. No, I don't want that one. We want the bank one. Of course we do. Wow, this year is just flying by. So someone gave me the idea, thank you, Rochelle, to write down, because, I'm still in February for the temperature. So what I did was I went to the monthly page. There's you can't see it because of the lighting. Anyway, the whole month is laid out here. And up in the little corners, I put the temperature, the high temperature, and what DMC floss I'm using for that particular day. And I went ahead and finished February. And then I went into March and started the same thing. Boy, we're now in the 79 was the high yesterday. 79. Last week we were in the 20s. And now we're at 79. The high temperature literally last Thursday was 20 degrees. Today, it's predicted to be 74. Like, wow, wow, wow. Okay, today I have another doctor's appointment. Yeah, my psychiatrist, who I think is probably going to try to change my medication. So if I turn into like some kind of beast, if I go into beast mode for the next few days, you'll know why. Because he's playing with my medicine. Damn it, I haven't mailed the rent check. Got to do that today. Got to finish this unboxing. Oh, you know what I did do yesterday? I'm going to write that down because I'm proud of myself. I did my taxes. Taxes. And when you live in Kansas, you have to pay state taxes, but I always get a refund. I'm not sure why that is, but I always do. Not a lot. Like, I think this year it's $150, which is like the most I've ever gotten. But I always get a refund. So, but they do take some of my money. Federal government takes quite a bit more of my money, but I always get a refund too. Because now I am filing head of household because my sister lived with me for more than 6 months last year, and she does not work. She's on disability, and so I can. Yay! Anyway, today is Make Someone Happy Day. Make someone happy. You know what makes me happy? Pink. A pink pen. Okay. And in this day in history, we're going to talk about a DC-10 plane crash over in Paris. Outside of Paris. Not in Paris, but outside of Paris. So a lot of things on my to-do list, definitely. And I can't do a lot of it when I'm at work because I am actually going into the office today. I'm always dropping things off this new desk. I do try to keep it at more of an angle. I have finally found a comfortable angle to this desk. It's a drafting table, and it's elevated slightly, and now I'm not having any more back pain or any of that stuff, and the chair is comfortable. And now if you want to go by the chair and the desk, feel free. I love it. Okay, yeah. I did ask that you give me a little time to see if I liked it. I love it. I do. Much better than the other one. I do. Now my poor sister sits out there and complains, I don't like this desk and chair. She's like, how did you sit in this for 2 years? I did. I'm going to put some diamonds in here and see if we can... I am still working on this thing, but you can see how little bit of it I have left. Just this much. But I have so many other things going on with, trying to wrap up this event that I just haven't had time to get to it. Yeah, I know. Because I am trying to make life a balance. I did some cross stitching last night. I worked on those wheels while I was watching TV. I put on this ridiculous show, like Love is Blind. It's just this weird reality show, and you don't really have to pay attention to it. So I'm doing that and working on the things. And what else? Oh, and I you're gonna laugh because I had it on Audible. I had the book Wheel of Time on Audible, but things were not going in because I spend such short periods of time in the car or doing any one thing because I'm all over the place. I I couldn't concentrate on the book. So I had that, I told you I had that gift card. So I bought the first books of The Wheel of Time. And the book is incredible. It has maps and, I love all that. And when I'm actually reading, and I always argued with Mickey, no, Audible's fine, Audible's fine. When you're actually reading, you can pay attention to what you're reading, and. So I was actually reading last night, and she's sitting in bed going, "I told you so." Stop it, stop it. Okay, I don't have my bell out. So now I'm at this point where I'm like looking at the drills and like see like there's a hole. Got to fill that hole. This is something I do at the end, but so close to the end with this one. What I think I'll do with the next one is I will do each step of the process on camera so that you see how I prepare a diamond painting, how I kit it up, all of that lovely stuff for anybody that might be new to diamond painting. Okay. Let's talk about crafting and crime. Ready? Crafting and crime daily. Woo-hoo. Yes. First, I need to tell you about we need to go back to last week, the trial of Robert Hayes. Now, as you may recall, or not, I'm going to remind you, Robert Hayes is the black male that was convicted of 3 murders of 3 prostitutes in Daytona Beach, all within like a month and a half period of time, all during the time that he happened to be living in Daytona Beach, attending Bethune-Cookman College. And yeah, so he's convicted, and then they go into the penalty phase. So that's where the jury hears aggravating factors that the prosecution puts on that will allow the judge to impose the death penalty, and mitigating factors that would allow the judge to go downward to life without the possibility of parole. Now, the clerk came through and she read all 3 verdicts. They had testimony about his mental health and his brain function, and all this testimony occurred earlier this week. Then the jury deliberated. They came back and they recommended the death penalty in all 3 cases. They said that the aggravating factors outweighed the mitigating factors, scales of justice, and recommended the death penalty in all 3. And you could, oh my gosh, this guy's got this full beard, not full beard, but he's not clean shaven. And you could see the tears dripping off his beard, and you could see he was trying to hold in his sobs. Now, I'm going to be honest, I was not convinced beyond a reasonable doubt that he committed these murders. Especially premeditation. I felt that had not been proved at all, at least not beyond a reasonable doubt. So the judge dismisses the jury, thanks them, and sends them on their way, and then says, are you ready to be sentenced? I'm ready right now. If you're ready, I'm ready. And Mr. Hayes says, yes, go ahead and sentence me. So the judge sentenced him to 3 consecutive periods of life in prison without the possibility of parole. He did not go to the death penalty. I thought that was really, really compassionate of him. So the guy will spend the rest of his life in jail. He still has to go on trial for a murder up in West Palm Beach. And my understanding is that they suspect he was involved in a 5th murder. So I think the judge thinks, he's going to get his comeuppance. So, yeah. So sad. Isn't it so sad? Anywho. So I got a pen that is not sticky, of course. Let's make this pen sticky. Now, I use glue dots in my pen. And sometimes if you just take some tweezers and you just play around with the glue dot and kind of bring it up a little, it'll work. You'll get a little bit more mileage out of it. All right. Did that work? It did. It did. I'm going to turn on the light pad, which is, oh, I didn't put the light pad back. I guess I'm not going to turn on the light pad. We're going to do this without the light, which is not easy. Holy moly. Now, in the case of Dr. William Husel, I told you about the Egyptian doctor that was on the stand via Zoom. He still works for Mount Carmel, but he's out of the country due to family emergency. Yesterday, I finished listening to the cross-examination by Jose Baez, and I got to tell you, I'm not impressed with Jose Baez. He has a co-counsel that's very good. I don't know if she's a nurse attorney, but she is crackerjack. She's really good. He's kind of all over the place. Like he just doesn't know how to ask the question the way to satisfy the judge. The judge shuts him down a lot because a lot of what he's doing is testifying himself, which is not appropriate. So let me tell you how this works. So Jose Baez is he's an attorney in Florida, out of Florida. We know him from the Casey Anthony trial. So here's how this works. If you want to, and I did this many times, if you wanted to, he only has a license to practice law in the state of Florida. So if you want to go to another state, you have to petition the court. And it's called pro hoc vice. I did this many times. I petitioned the court to allow me to participate in a trial. But there's a caveat with that. The judge will grant it, but your co-counsel must be local. So the woman that he is litigating with is a local attorney, maybe not from Grove City, but she's licensed to practice law in the state of Ohio. So the two of them have to do the trial together. And I'm sure she must be sitting there thinking, oh, damn, he's all over the place, but I got to work with him because my client hired him. Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know if she is appointed. Like, I don't know if under these circumstances, like the client hired Jose Baez and then the judge appointed a local counsel to work with him. I don't know how they did that in this case. I don't know if she's a public defender. I have no idea. But she's crackerjack, like I said. She's really good. He is just, like, you just can't even follow what he's saying. You just can't. Oh, I'm not being very successful with the diamonds here today. I'm really not. Oh my goodness. Like, they're falling out of the pen. So let me tell you, yesterday, one of the points that Jose Baez made, and I thought it was a good one. Something did come out of the testimony. He got Dr. Husel, he got Dr. Hagris, and I keep thinking of Hogwarts. Every time they say Dr. Hagris, I think of the Hogwarts. Yeah, I know, flight of ideas there. So he got him to admit that the nurses are allowed to use their independent judgment. And, you know, part of their process is to speak up if they're not comfortable giving a dose, or if they question the excessiveness of a dose. They're actually required to say something to the doctor, to the risk manager, through their event reporting system, somehow. And he said, yes, that's true. And he also, prosecution got him to say that, you know, in all of his time at Mount Carmel, working the night shift, same shift as Dr. Husel, he never gave these kind of doses of fentanyl during a palliative extubation. Never gave those kind of doses. Yep. Okay, look, one more and I will be done down here in this little section on the edge. I had done it before and then I don't know, the diamonds fell off or I don't know, something happened there. Now I saw a hole here somewhere. Now I'll never find it again. Anyway, like amongst these thousands of diamonds, there are holes intermittently for whatever reason. Sometimes the diamonds pop up and fly off, and sometimes cats get a hold of them. You never know. Now I just got a stray one here. Okay, let's talk about. We didn't talk about National Day. It's Make Someone Smile Day. So we could tell jokes. You could buy somebody a cup of coffee. You could tickle them. Just make somebody happy today. Let me tell you I have some jokes for you. Yes. All right. We're going to do some jokes here. What do you call an alligator detective? An investigator. Yeah, I like that one. Why did the scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field. I'm making you smile, aren't I? Are you smiling yet? Yeah. Why shouldn't you write with a broken pencil? Because it's pointless. I think that's funny. I'm laughing? Come on. I found some good ones here. Oh, this one I liked. What do you call a pig who does karate? A pork chop. Okay. If you're still here, don't turn the channel. What kind of ghost has the best hearing? The eeriest. Yay! Okay, we're done with that. I know I'm being silly. Okay, and I am all over the place. So we're going to go back to crafting and crime. So I have finished day 4. We're going to move on to day 5, which will be the testimony of the risk manager, which I'm very interested because I used to be a risk manager. And I think they're going to finish the testimony of the pharmacist, the supervisor, the one that the 2 pharmacists emailed about their concerns. We're going to get the rest of his testimony, which will be the cross-examination. Yay! But it'll be that female lawyer, not Jose Baez. So we'll get the rest of that. Like I said, I'm at work all day today. I have plenty of opportunity to listen. I've got some meetings I have to moderate, and which requires me to sit there and I literally have to just turn on the electronics and then just sit there and make sure everything works during the meeting. Yes. So the other trial that's going on, and I really have not paid any attention to it, and I do apologize, is the Breonna Taylor murder trial. As you recall, the officer fired a round during a no-knock warrant, and it went through one apartment into her apartment where she was sound asleep, killing her in her bed. So I have not watched that. Time has just not permitted me to do that. So I don't know if I'm going to go, depending on what comes next, because there's like tons of trials out there. I may go back and try to recap it for you. Otherwise, we may have to skip it altogether. And I do apologize because I don't have 50 hours in the day. I wish I did. Oh my gosh, I wish I did. Can you imagine everything I would get done if I had 50 hours in my day? Well, first of all, I'd sleep 20 of it. Yes, I love my sleep. Okay, let's talk about this day in history. Plane crash in 1974. Faulty door dooms this DC-10 plane. Oh my word. You know, I have pop-ups blocked and I still get pop-ups. What the heck? So this DC-10 jet crashed into a forest outside of Paris, France, killing all 346 people aboard, and that was March 3rd, 1974. And this was due to the poor design of the plane and a huge system failure here, because 2 years before this there had been another plane crash of a DC-10 flying over Ontario, Canada, when the rear hatch door blew off, and things are flying around the cabin, and the plane's cabin lost pressure and the cabin floor collapsed. Clouds of dust and bits of metal filled the plane's interior, and some key cables were severed. Still, the pilot was able to land the jet under control and managed to safely land it in Detroit. Later, it was determined that the latching mechanism on the door was designed poorly, leading to the catastrophe. Modifications to the mechanism were recommended. Now listen, modifications were recommended. Guess what happened? No modifications. They failed to recall any of the DC-10s to modify the rear hatch door. In fact, they continued to manufacture DC-10s with the faulty door without modifying it. So, part one of the system failure there. Then, one of those planes gets sold to the Turkish Airlines. So on March 3rd, British European Airways was unable to make a scheduled flight due to a strike by its workers. When the Turkish Airlines Flight 981 arrived in Paris from Istanbul, many of the passengers that were scheduled on the flight that got canceled because of the strike decided, we're going to go over and fly on this Flight 981, including this soccer team. Well, because there were so many people trying to get on this flight, I mean, it was a full flight, the soccer team was not able to get on the flight. Yay, saved their lives. But it was a full flight. Meanwhile, here comes more of the system failure. Maintenance on the DC-10 was suffering a fatal breakdown. The station mechanic was supposed to do a visual inspection of the rear hatch door. However, the station mechanic was on vacation. So in that case, the pilot should have taken over that responsibility, but he didn't. Nobody ever checked the rear hatch door. He forgot. So when the plane took off, the faulty hatch door was improper. So when the plane took off, the faulty hatch door was improperly locked, and as soon as they reached the altitude, 11,000 feet, the door flew off. All the people in the back row, 6 passengers in their seats, flew out the door and landed in a turnip field. Of course, they did not survive. Sucked out of the fuselage. So the pilots tried to get control of the plane. They could not. The remaining 340 passengers had to suffer the next 90 seconds knowing that they were doomed. They hit the ground at 500 miles an hour, killing everyone on board, of course. It was such a horrific plane crash that only out of the 340 people killed, they only recovered 40 bodies. Now, afterwards, McDonnell Douglas, who manufactured these DC-10s, they tried to blame the baggage handlers for failing to properly close the hatch door. Well, the baggage handlers were so upset by this that they boycotted the DC-10s until they got an apology. And they did finally get an apology. And then all of the DC-10s were promptly recalled to replace this rear hatch door and upgrade the mechanisms. Can you imagine? I don't want to fly. No, sirree, Bob. No. Okay. That was in 1974, this day in history. I'm trying to think. 1974. What was I doing in 1974? My son was 14, which would have been early high school days or late middle school. My daughter was 11. This could have been like the couple of years right prior to my divorce. This may have been when I was in law school. No, 74. No, hold on. No, wait a minute. I was 14. Holy moly, I'm thinking of 94. 74, I was only 14 years old. What was I doing? I was baton twirling my way through middle school. Oh my God. Yeah, 1974. Holy, I just aged myself in that prior statement, didn't I? So, 1974, I was, baton twirling my way through middle school and high school. Yep, flirting with the boys, not paying. I did not pay any attention when I was in high school to what was going on outside of my high school. It's amazing how you have this just tunnel focus as a child, and then when you become an adult, your mind opens up to what's going on around me and the rest of the world. Yeah. Anyway, all right, guys, that is the show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you missed the drive live, go back and watch. It's always fun. I just chit chat on the way to work. Gotta go to work. Gotta go to work. Okay, so this was not successful. Crafting during the crime is not always successful. All right, make someone happy today, guys.